I think that a growing awareness can only be a good thing. I think the fact that consumers are recognizing that we are in a climate crisis, the fact that you have things like David Attenborough documentaries becoming incredibly mainstream, and people understand that we're in a crisis that we need to try and fix, and they are, demanding more from brands, saying, we want you to be more responsible, we want you to make it easier for us to make better choices. That is a really, really good thing. I think where the danger lies is when the word sustainability gets thrown around so much. Obviously, greenwashing is a huge issue right now, and I'm sure that you will have lots of thoughts on that as well. And I think that, the word can really lose meaning, and I think that what's super duper important and what's, I think really exciting for smaller brands and for students leaving fashion colleges at the moment is the fact that you need to have the agility and the kind of openness to really thoroughly think about what does sustainability mean and how can you integrate it into all aspects of your business rather than just sort of using it as a marketing tool.
Yeah, I think it's not just a kind of a badge ticking exercise for businesses and brands, and I think it needs to be a mindset that's integrated into your whole ethos and your whole brand objective, not just about doing, a sustainable collection that, is just marketed towards a specific customer. And I think, it comes down to as you said, the vagueness of the word sustainability and it not being, regulated or, really thought about what it actually means. And that's where all the greenwashing comes from. At ISCO, we try not to use the word sustainability so much. We prefer to use the term responsibility. So about, everything that we're doing is done in a really responsible way and having that kind of embedded in our practices. I think the whole ethos of, buy more, consumption, overconsumption, I think we need to kind of change that mindset of using less and not wanting to have more than what we need. And I think that goes into kind of every aspect, not just about your own personal consumption, but the processes that brands need to take. And I think the pandemic has kind of a little bit given us a chance to take stock of that. And, it's given brands the opportunity to look at their supply chains, look at their, brands have had, some retailers have had huge collections. They're now looking at reducing their collection sizes, reducing their store portfolios, making them smaller, focusing more on technology. At ISCO, that's something that we're really passionate about, is not just investing in our own process and our own technology, but looking at, really innovative things like that we can invest and support in to be able to help the industry as well as, our own processes.
Yeah. And actually, that's something that's so important where you're talking about helping in the industry, because I think what we're seeing at the moment is traditionally in fashion and textiles, everything's been very hush-hush behind closed doors, competitive. It still is like that to a degree, but we are seeing an increase in people actually collaborating and being more open source to try and share resources and share learnings and to try and collectively make a positive impact, because like you say, it's investment, research and development which is needed, and for that you need to have a long-term view, not just try and go for the quick wins to try and get a leg up, compared to someone else.
Yeah, we joined and we became Blue Sign partner last year, and the part of that is that it's the ethos is that it's supposed to unite the industry in order to be able to make these kind of positive changes. And I think it's really important for businesses to look at that and see different ways that they can help the industry.
What's the trajectory for them in the industry? Do you think we're going to see a lot more renewed textiles coming into, even our high street stores as well?
Yeah. I definitely think there's a recycling kind of revolution happening at the moment, and that's with kind of all areas in every industry, but I think particularly in fashion. And I kind of mentioned it before, our focus is really on using a lot less virgin materials and trying to embed processes.
What are some of the benefits of those? Are there ways that we can go back to kind of focusing on these more natural, traditional textiles that, have been around for centuries?
Well, when you talk about cotton, it's been used in clothing for like 6,000 or 7,000 years. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But it is about there's so much demand for cotton. It's everywhere. I think now what we're looking at as a business at ISCO is trying to use less virgin materials, and that's even natural virgin materials, and using recycled and what's already kind of in the environment. So we're increasing the amount of recycled cotton we use in all of our fabrics because there's enough of it around, and we have the opportunity and the investment of the process to be able to recycle that into new fabric. So I think looking at it from that point of view, rather than just, we also never source more than we need. We always just source exactly what we need for all of our manufacturing. So I think just making sure that, we're always going to work with cotton, but there's cotton already in the environment without having to grow any more. So I think kind of looking at those types of processes and how we can change the mindset a little bit is important.
What about you, Charlotte? What do you think about kind of this move back towards maybe more, less synthetic materials?
I absolutely love it. I think it's super exciting, and actually that's a really interesting point that you have about the fact that cotton is, the natural fibres, it's the most widely used, and so it makes complete sense actually to kind of collect up all of the waste cotton out there and recycle it for new fabrics.
Thanks so much, Charlotte.
Thank you.
Thank you.